The water crisis shakes India's Silicon Valley. The city of lakes turning into a concrete jungle. The water crisis drives Bengaluru to the edge. These are the you're saying like all this a couple of days or from past week, and around like 58 locations across the Bangalore city reported like there's a drinking water issue. And also another 250 points across the Bangalore identified as a water stress by Bangalore water supply and sewage board. And even the water tanker prices, like earlier it was like 600 bucks and 800 bucks, and suddenly they went up to like 2,500 to 3,500 per tank, which is really crazy, I must tell. And if you observe, there are like places from South Zone, West Zone, East Zone, North Zone, like HSR Layout, Bommanhalli, Pinya, and Bagalkunte, Bapuji Nagar, Kerpuram, Whitefield, everywhere. Like there are like too much of water crisis happening. And I would think like how this kind of issue occurred. Is it like something that happened recently, or are there any reasons which are affecting this issue from long time? So today we're going to discuss about that. So welcome to our channel, and it's me Lucky. So let's get into the topic. I'll tell you, how this thing happened and what is the story, before this, and what are the things which causes this kind of water crisis in Bangalore. And yeah, so like I said, even if you see recent newspapers and all, Karnataka government actually bans drinking water for non-essential usages. If I say non-essential usage and all, it's like washing your cars, bikes, or using water for construction or maintenance or gardening or something like that. These are all banned. In case if you're doing that, the government gonna fine like 5,000 rupees for it. This is first time ever hooping 5,000 rupees of fine implemented on this kind of things, because it shows the seriousness of this issue. I want you guys to understand about it. Even the malls and theaters and all are directed by the government that they have to use the water only for the drinking purpose, because there is a shortage of water everywhere. So if the people are wasting water like this, it's going to be a huge problem. And also if we go to the a little bit history, like before this, um, there was a great line that I would like to repeat here. Keragalam Kattu Marangalam Nedu. So it simply means that, I might have pronounced it wrong, but it simply means that build lakes and plant trees. Imagine this great lines: build lakes and plant trees. And was the advice given to the founder of Bengaluru, Mr. Kempegowda, by his mother in 1500s. I mean, like 16th century. Kempegowda's mother actually, given this advice to him when he, came to rule. Build lakes and plant more trees. And because if you observe, the terrain, the land we have now, the terrain is actually very dry, and it's like arid soil. Arid soil in the sense it's like you can't grow any crops and all that. And also it filled with thorny trees and all everywhere. So this kind of land is very difficult to grow crops and all, or any kind of agriculture if you wanted to do per se. And the rulers back then, they decided like, let's change this terrain. So what they did, they actually molded to a semi arid fertile land. So earlier it was like arid soil and thorny trees. They actually molded it into semi-arid fertile land, and builds like they build like these tanks and streams to, and store the rainwater. So whenever the rain comes in the water cycle, they wanted to store that with the streams and tanks. So that is where they actually started usage of rainwater by storing them with the tanks and the streams and all. So when Kempegowda came to rule, and his mother actually advised him, see, you don't have to do anything but double whatever we have now, which means she clearly advised that. So whatever the tanks or streams we have, just double them. So what Kempegowda did is he actually doubled down it. He built almost like 100 lakes, 100 lakes. And so it went on like an obsession. Why it went on like obsession is, back then when Britishers came to Bengaluru, and so during that time they found good water resources, because we had so many lakes. And during that time, so they felt like it might be a good headquarters for them to rule South India from here, from Bengaluru. So they actually built it like, there's this forts and all that. The population increased, the water usage actually increased. Actually, see, whenever you see, wherever you see water, there is always there are chances of more population getting accumulated. Because um, if I say, even if you take like history, this Indus civilization, or Egyptian civilization, or China civilization. So all the civilization started next to a river, next to a flowing river. So water is that important. Rivers are that important. Unfortunately, Bangalore did not have any perennial source of water. So we it's like there wasn't a river that flows through the city. So even the Kaveri, which traversed the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, but avoided Bengaluru, because it's almost like in 60 kilometers away from Bangalore. It never goes inside the city. It's always like in a distance. So when a river or something goes through the city, then there will be a good source of water. Unfortunately, we don't have that. So the city needed a man-made lakes and tanks back then itself. And so they were built such a way, these lakes and all. So if one lake overflows the water, right, so uh, the water will fill another lake. If that lake overflows the water, it fills another lake. So these all are interconnected. They built these lakes and all. It's such a mechanism, so the water never goes waste, and one lake overflows, another lake will store the water. It's like this. It's really a fantastic mechanism, I must say. So what happened? So what are these reasons that actually killing the water resources in Bangalore, and making this water crisis? So I have listed out like few reasons by doing some quite a research. So first of all is, Bangalore is actually a high altitude terrain, because see, we are in Deccan terrain, right? So if you check this Chennai and Bangalore comparison, the Bangalore is almost like 900 meters above sea level. 900 meters in the sense, it will be around like 3000 feet, 3000 feet above sea level. So if the place is like that altitude, and if you wanted to like put a borewell and get the water and all, it's very difficult, because the altitude is really high. You have to dig more deep to get water. So this is the first reason, that it's in a high altitude, above the sea level. That's the first thing. And also the city has already almost exhausted its foils water reserve, and now the dependency is on the rainwater. See, from then itself we started digging deep and getting the water, and also we already consumed all the water. Now we actually depended on the rainwater. So whenever the rain comes, the like lakes and all gonna store the water. We're gonna keep the waters and all in the reservoir, and we'll use them later. So that's where we depended on, but the rain has to come, right? And also, if you observe recently, there's a massive climate change. Massive climate change. Not only in Bangalore, everywhere a massive climate change. Even in India, cities like metropolitan cities like Bangalore or Hyderabad or Kolkata, Mumbai, and all, everywhere you see there are a lot of climate changes. When it's supposed to rain, it won't rain. What causing this kind of instability in climate? Again, we, because the kind of pollution that we creating, or the kind of machinery that we are using, all are actually somewhere affecting the mother earth, even the environment. So we actually directly or indirectly, with our lifestyle, the lifestyle that we are following, it's always getting damaging the environment or damaging the climate very badly. So the thing is, we have to get into a very 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 simple lifestyle, which can be very feasible to the environment. We have to adopt it first of all, and after that, reusage of water. I don't know how many people are actually doing this reusage of water in Bangalore, but I have seen few apartments and all, societies and all, actually they started this RO system, using it. It's actually a good thing. I mean, it's a good for the better future, I must say. And if I tell you, an average nuclear family in Bangalore uses about 150 liters of water per day to flush their toilets. Imagine the recycling this water and pushing it back into the flush. Each household would save, so like they can save like 4,500 liters of water just by single reuse. If everybody does that, imagine how many of us there, how many liters water we can save. So we have to start reusage of water. It's very much essential now. And also, one of the most evil, I must say, or a devil to the society is this real estate people, because this real estate became a one of the most influencing factor which affects the nature or mother earth or the climate very badly. I'll tell you why. See, normally, when you're building this, constructions and all, you're doing the construction of buildings and all that. So the government, will have a certain guidelines, and these guys have to follow it. But nowadays, what happens in Bengaluru is these guys are started, constructing buildings and all, covering the, lake with soil and all, and they started, constructing the buildings on top of the lakes. These are actually natural, lakes which are like built long back by our ancestors, and you guys are actually killing them for sake of making money. You guys are actually killing the lakes, which are like water resources for us. If the rain comes, no lakes, where the hell the water is going to get saved, or where you going to keep or storage that water? How many tanks we have? How many streams we have? All we have this natural lakes. And if you are not saving these lakes, or if this real estate builders are not going to ruin them, that's it. It's a gone case. Even if I see in the Raisandra and the places like Kudlu Gate and all, there are a lot of natural lakes are actually getting encroached by these builders. I don't know how the hell BBMP is giving a permission to these fellows. 6 months before, there was a heavy rainfall, and all the water was stored in like in this Kempegowda bus stop. I don't know, maybe if you observe the structure and the way it built, it's in the middle of the city, and the place is a little lower than the normal surface. The water and all came to that bus stop and it's stored. You don't know that that bus stop is itself actually a man-made lake, which is named Dharmam Budhi. It's a Dharmam Budhi, lake. Earlier, it was one of the big water tank, back then. See, this is how we are actually screwing the Mother Earth. We are doing all this kind of mistakes, and then we are thinking like, we are having a huge climate issues or water, crisis and all that. If you treat, Mother Earth with love, the love will come back to you. If you start, killing your Mother Earth, it's like you're directly killing yourself, your generation, your future generations. If you observe, approximately back then there were like 922 lakes in Bengaluru in 1960s. But now, if you calculate, there are like 100 lakes. Where is 920? Where are 100 lakes? So there are like few things. If you observe, there are few industries which actually consume a lot of water. So if we can keep a control or monitor this kind of industries and all, maybe we can save a high amount of water. It will actually give a tremendous results for sure. For an example, see, for agriculture comes in the first place, where agriculture actually need a water resources. But apart from that, there are other industries. If I tell you like textiles and garments, you see there are number of textiles and garments in Bangalore. So I'm just approximately saying, to create a single pair of jeans, it requires about 2,866 gallons of water. Imagine a single pair of jeans. I think I should stop wearing jeans. And also, if you go to this beverage industries and all, I mean, these industries also require a lot of water. Well, they manufacturing or processing. So it takes between like 180 and 328 gallons of water to produce a 2 liters water a bottle or a soda in beverage sector. 20 gallons of water to make a pint of beer, and nearly 37 gallons of water to produce the ingredients to make a single cup of coffee. Good that I don't drink coffee. And these reports are, according to this water, footprint network. Biggest, industry that consumes hell lot of water is automotive manufacturing. Imagine how many cars are there in Bangalore, how many two-wheelers are there in Bangalore. On the daily basis, there are like lakhs of cars are I think thousands of cars are getting manufactured. Do you know, to manufacture one single car, how many liters of water is required? Literally, it required 39 thousands of gallons of water. 39,000 of gallons in liters. If I convert it into liters, 1,47,631 liters of water required for just manufacturing one car. Imagine how many cars are manufacturing in a day. How many cars? How many gallons of water? Are these companies are doing anything to regenerate the water or return the water sources back? No. Bengaluru is going to become a dry land one day. See, when you're watching this video, I'm sure that you might be a Bengalurian by birth or else by karma. And come on, Bengaluru gave you everything. It gave you life, it gave you job, it gave you money, it gave you everything. Now it's time for you to give something back to Bangalore. Come on. Even when Tamil Nadu, was in floods and all, Bengaluru is the first state to help. We are, good people by heart. And not only for Bangaloreans, I know I'm urging and I'm requesting all the viewers, whichever state you are and wherever you state you're coming from, the moment you entered into the land, you became a Bangalorean. Now it's your social responsibility to do something from your end to this land and try to save water. And from your end, you take the social responsibility, social oath to save water, reusage of water, and also doing wastewater treatment and try to save this Mother Earth. And thank you so much. Share this our video with a lot of your friends and family. Let them aware what's happening here and all these things. Maybe it helps them to get some knowledge, and maybe it inspires them to do something good to the society. And thank you so much. Show your love and support like this. And it's me, Lucky, signing off. Thank you so much.